If we take a look back 50 years to the 1970s, we'll see a lot of revolutionary products and technology coming about, such as floppy disks, portable cassette players, personal computers, the cell phone, the first real video game, and email. Over the years, all of those products have changed dramatically and have been greatly improved upon. A phone that was the size of a brick can now fit comfortably in our pockets. However, along with the improvement of products, also came the degradation of the climate and environment. 50 years ago, the climate wasn't considered to be in danger. In fact, it was not until the 1990s when people began to realize the harmful impact humans were making. Now, we understand that climate change is at the forefront of global issues that need to be addressed much sooner rather than later. There are many factors that contribute to climate change in the modern age, but one of the most heinous is deforestation. This removal of trees releases stored carbon dioxide back into the environment while also destroying wildlife. Annually, humans remove 15 billion trees while only replanting 5 billion. As the fight against climate change gains popularity and momentum throughout the years, more resources will be utilized in order to negate the effects humans have on the environment. Resources such as AI and many new forms of technology will be prominent 50 years from now in 2070. Modern technology and products we currently have today will evolve so much that they may become unrecognizable. My idea for a product from 2070 would be one that utilizes a modern device while also using advanced AI in order to assist us in the fight against deforestation, because as time goes on, that problem may only get worse. My idea is to develop a drone that carries the seeds of native trees depending on the location. These drones are completely autonomous. All they need to be defined for them is an area to work in. They come equipped with soil samplers for testing the pH of dirt in order to see if it's sufficient enough to sustain new vegetation, a camera in order to map out terrain and objects, and a carrier/planter that disperses seeds onto the eligible ground. These drones work in fleets and communicate with one another in order to create an efficient planting network. First, they take samples of the soil, and if it is determined that it can sustain a new tree being planted, then the area is then surveyed and mapped out, analyzing things like topography and obstructions in order to create the best route and drop point for seeds. And finally, the carrier planter is used in order to disperse seeds in specific, carefully targeted spots that increase the likelihood of the tree's survival. A single drone can cover an area of 0.05 square miles, which doesn't sound like a lot, but that area can hold about 1,600 trees. If a fleet of just 20 drones is released, there's potential for 32,000 more trees to come to life. This whole process takes approximately 5 hours to complete, and then the drones can move on to the next site, working nonstop with the use of quick swap batteries that they change themselves. If working nonstop, a fleet of 20 could plant around 128,000 trees per day, which equates to about 50 million trees per year. And that is just a single fleet. Not only could it plant trees, but another issue that plagues the environment is the loss of biodiversity. Most seeds can be used within the carrier planter, and because of that, biodiversity could once again flourish in an environment that has lost its vegetation in the past. With one fleet being able to replant about 50 million trees annually, it would take 200 fleets globally to balance out trees removed and trees planted in the current age, but we're unsure of how that number will change so far down the line. Hopefully, as time progresses, more efforts will come into either slowing deforestation or placing an emphasis on the importance of replanting what is used. There are over 3 trillion trees on Earth, but at the current rate of consumption, we could run out of trees in less than 300 years. So, we have a fair bit of time to make change, but that's what we said about climate change. And now studies show that the amount of damage we've caused to Earth is irreversible. And I don't want that to be said about the things that provide us with oxygen. Thinking about the future can be intimidating, but with the evolution of technology and the constant thought of new sustainable ideas, I believe we're in fairly good shape to see a much cleaner future that I'm looking forward to experiencing.